Hey y'all, Mitch here. Leah's busy with her play this week, so I need to drop in some announcements into this episode that we forgot to do while we were recording. So, sorry, I'm going to put them in the front here. Number one, we have a brand new series that will be coming up. It'll be released right here on this same platform, so you don't have to download anything else or subscribe to anything else. I'm not going to give you any details yet. Check back next week for the full details. We will be releasing it then, but be on the lookout because we are going to ask for suggestions from the listeners and fans. So do be looking for that because we want to hear from you, and we do have a plan in mind, but we want to hear what you want us to talk about. Brand new series coming up real soon. Check back next week for all the details that you need. About our Patreon that, of course, still hasn't launched. We are going to do that very soon. Full announcement with all of our levels will be in the works within the next couple of weeks, let's say. We're not entirely sure. One thing I can tell y'all is a little bit of a teaser is there will for sure be a high-quality sticker that is exclusive to Patreon donators? People that donate. It's going to be a Patreon exclusive sticker. We know for a fact that will be at probably the very first level for like $1 a month or something, but that's something that's going to be included. Everything else will be coming within the next week or two. Let's give it about 2 weeks until we announce fully. And the last thing that we have another ad from our friends over at the Dead Time Stories podcast. Y'all need to give them a try if you haven't already. I'm a fan. Leah's a fan. We want y'all to at least give them a try because they're very, very good at what they do. And if you listen to any of their more recent episodes, you'll hear how I accidentally stole something from them that I didn't know, because I just want to say that I think Ghost Dick is probably in the public domain. Either way, I apologize. But here is their promo, and y'all enjoy this episode.
Hey guys, I'm Sarah.
And I'm Stephanie.
And we're the hosts of Dead Time Stories. Dead Time Stories,
with a Z,
is a weekly podcast where we tell you stories of ghosts, hauntings, mysteries, conspiracies,
the supernatural, paranormal,
the generally eerie, spooky,
and all around weird.
If you like scary stories, witty banter, and classy broads,
we're your ghouls. Gals. New episodes are posted Thursdays at midnight on iTunes, SoundCloud, Google Play, and Stitcher.
Listen and subscribe, rate and review today.
I'm Leah Lawrence.
And I'm her husband, Mitch Lawrence.
And you are listening to the Southern Spirits Podcast, where I regale my husband with Southern stories of the macabre, creepy, and strange.
And I drink.
So what are you drinking tonight, Mitchell?
Our beer for the night is Tripel Star, brewed and bottled by Tennessee Brew Works in Nashville, Tennessee. 9% alcohol by volume. Let's read the bottle.
Let's.
100% locally owned and operated. Tennessee Brew Works, Nashville, Tennessee. Finely tuned. We've had them on the show before. They don't put anything on their bottles.
Nope.
That's all that they have.
I don't know. There's a picture of a dude with a beard on it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Pretty cool bottle. I like it.
Yeah, it's nice.
About the beer, it's a Belgian style. It's strong. That's 9% alcohol by volume. It's a really excellent flavor. I like this beer quite a bit. It's really crisp and bitter at first, and then it's really sweet on the back end because of that high alcohol content. I just like the beer a whole lot. I think it's really good. If you like a Belgian style, this is a really good one.
It's a little heavy for me. It's not my favorite. I don't care for Belgian style beers most of the time. It tastes good. I like the flavor. It's just not something that I could drink a whole lot of.
Yeah.
It kind of has sort of a candy bar kick on the end, though. It's nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It would be hard to drink a lot of these because it's so strong.
But it doesn't just come in a 4-pack for that reason, I'm sure.
Yes. So. And Belgian styles kind of lend themselves to that. They're meant to be enjoyed and not, binged for the most part. It's a good beer. I gave it a 9 out of 10 overall.
Cool.
Our liquor for the night. Sorry, we are reusing tonight. We have Ruby Red Grapefruit flavored vodka, distilled and bottled by Western Sun Distillery in Pilot Point, Texas. Refer to episode 18 for the full review if anybody gives a damn.
Probably not.
It got an 8.5 out of 10 overall. We stick with it. It's a really good flavored vodka.
It is. I liked it. It was nice.
Have you some?
Woo.
We enjoyed it, and we're going to take some shots of it tonight.
Yas.
So, enjoy.
You mean you're going to take some shots of it?
Well, we'll see. We'll see. All right, that's it for the alcohols. Real quick and easy one tonight. Leah, what's next?
We're going to do a funny place name.
A what?
A funny place name.
Ah, okay. Hit me with it.
Possum Grape, Arkansas.
Possum grape. Okay. We've hit the pinnacle. There can be no others.
It's Possum Grape, Arkansas. It's in Arkansas, as you would kind of figure out.
I didn't think that it would be. I guess so, though.
Well, there are a couple of different stories that could be the thing, but I'm going to go for the dumb one first and then the real one second. All right, so the theory is that the townspeople, half of them wanted to call their town Possum, because why not? Half of the town wanted to call it Grape. And they argued and they argued, and they're like, no, we're going to be Possum. No, we're going to be Grape. But eventually they were like, okay, look, y'all, we're going to hyphenate this shit, and we're going to be Possum Grape.
Is it opossum grape? Or did they spelled it possum grape? Okay.
Just Possum Grape.
I wouldn't expect any different.
So while that's cute and all, it turns out that there is actually a varietal of grape called possum grapes that do grow in the southeastern United States.
That's upsetting.
And they grow in Arkansas, and it's probably named after the local grapes.
That is upsetting.
Possum grape.
I wonder how they taste.
I have no idea.
Do they taste like roadkill?
Ugh.
It's the only time you ever see a possum is dead on the side of the road.
That is not true. Okay, sidebar story time.
Story one.
When I was going to the University of Montevallo, I had an astronomy class that met pretty late at night because we went to the observatory. We have a big telescope. And, once a week, I would go to my night class, and I swear to God, there was a possum that waited by the side door of my dormitory, and that damn possum would walk with me all the way to my astronomy class, and he would walk me all the way back when I came back out of my astronomy class.
He walked like right beside you?
Yeah, I mean, like a good 2.5, 3 feet away, but like... It was like a cat, and I swear, because I know students were feeding him. I know they were.
That's what it had to be.
But I named him Lyle, and me and Lyle almost every week would walk to astronomy, and he'd be there, and he'd walk me back. So yes, I have seen plenty of live possum, and
You've
his name
seen
was
one
Lyle.
live possum. You've seen one live possum. One.
I'm just saying.
You've never told me that story before, and I am a fan.
Lyle is a sweet, friendly possum.
Did you pet him?
No. I don't.
Did you know if it was a him?
I don't.
Did you see his balls?
I know
See
very
his possum
little
balls?
about possum anatomy, okay?
I'm pretty sure it's the
It
same as every
looks
other mammal.
Like at first, because we had a lot of feral cats that hung out around my dormitory too. So at first I was like, oh, that's a feral cat. Nope, it was a possum. It was definitely a possum.
Did it do any tricks? I'm sorry about the yawn.
It walked with me to astronomy class. That was a fucking trick.
You could have taught it a lot of stuff. You missed your opportunity.
Oh well, so that's Lyle the possum, y'all.
That's a fun story. You should have saved that for like a like a nice little anecdote or something somewhere
That
else.
was a nice little anecdote.
You know what I mean? Like actually included in a Montevallo story or something.
Oh yeah, probably, but that was Lyle.
Well,
Anyway,
I want Lyle. Can we go adopt Lyle?
I'm pretty sure Lyle's probably been run over by a crazy student
Yeah.
driving on those stupid brick roads.
Well, the
so-
only place you ever see a possum is dead on the side of the road.
Well, and I'm sure Lyle, bless his soul, has joined them.
Met his fate.
A moment of silence and a sip of cocktail for Lyle.
Brief moment.
Thank you. All right, are you ready for story number 1?
I am.
After that really weird interlude.
Yeah. I'm very ready. Are you ready?
Yes, sir. All right, we're going to be going to the state of Mississippi.
Yay.
Mississippi. All
Mississippi.
actually going back to Pascagoula.
We've been to Pascagoula.
We're going back, baby.
Not physically, like on the show. We've talked about Pascagoula.
Well, we're going to talk about them again, and today we're talking about the Phantom Barber of Pascagoula.
Phantom Barber?
Phantom Barber.
Phantom Barber.
Yes.
A phantom that barbers.
Not necessarily.
All right. Is it a demon phantom barber?
No.
A Fleet Street in Pascagoula?
No.
Is there a Fleet Street in Pascagoula?
Probably not. I don't know. Anyway, so let's get on with the story, shall we?
All right.
All right. So this starts in like 1942. So a little backstory. So Pascagoula was originally just sort of a little fishing town, you know, really small. The population was about 5,000. But as World War II started and the U.S. got into the war, they actually started building naval vessels there and warships. And so the population swelled from 5,000 to 15,000 almost overnight. Like the population just exploded because that's where the jobs were. And so, you know, while that's great for the local economy and all that, the business was booming and all that, it turns out that it's a lot harder for a police force to keep 15,000 people in check than it is the 5,000 people in check.
Agreed.
So it was around this time that the Phantom Barber of Pascagoula struck. His reign of terror.
Jesus.
Sorry, I was excited.
That was way too much.
I apologize. His reign of terror.
Yes, his reign of terror.
It began on Friday, June the 5th of 1942. So there were... Okay, setting the scene.
Ooh.
There were two young women that were sisters at the Our Lady of Victory's convent. Their names were Mary Evelyn Briggs and Edna Marie Heidel. And they were all of a sudden woken up from a deep slumber to find a man climbing out of their bedroom window. A little freaky. It's a convent. There shouldn't be dudes there.
That's upsetting.
And so the girls, neither of them were hurt, no one was injured, but both of them were missing a big old hunk of hair.
Oh, gross.
And Briggs described the man as being, I don't know, sort of short, sort of fat. He was wearing a white sweatshirt. It's all the information they got out of these two.
All right.
Well, so, like I said, that was on Friday on the 5th of June. Well, that next Monday, he struck again. This time it was at the Petey home. So what he did was he cut a slit in the screen window. So it's really hot in June in the South, and it's very humid, in case anybody knew. So at that point in time, there's really no central air, nothing like that. So you're going to have screens on your window so you can let the windows down and let the breeze blow through so you don't suffocate to death.
Right.
Well, turns out you should probably keep the windows up because this little motherfucker has a knife and is slitting these windows, and he crawled into the room of 6-year-old Carol Petey and her twin brother.
I don't like that.
Well, he came in and he snipped this little girl's hair, didn't touch the brother, got her hair, and he accidentally left a clue this time.
A clue?
Shot in the dark.
Uh-oh.
What was the clue? Was it A, white glove, B, a footprint, or C, a pair of scissors? Was it A, B, or C?
Those are my options, A, B, or C?
Yeah.
Confusing. I would hope he wouldn't leave his primary tool, the scissors. So I'm going to say footprint.
He did, in fact, leave a footprint.
I got it right.
Give me that liquor.
I got to hand it to you. Here.
Hand me that liquor.
Should we video these?
Yeah, I mean, I guess.
Yeah, hold on. Let me get something ready.
It's not terribly interesting because these are good shots, but
yeah.
I work out. We should work out.
I'm leaving all this in.
Please don't.
Every bit of this.
All right, you ready? I filled it a little too
Not
much.
ready. All right, ready? 3,
Yes, sir.
2, 1. How was it?
It's good.
Very pleasant,
Good
right?
Shooting vodka.
Yeah, it's a really good shooting vodka.
I mean,
It's good.
woo.
Agreed. It's a good shooting vodka.
Alrighty. So, not only was it a footprint, it was a sandy, barefooted footprint. So this
Ugh.
motherfucker wasn't wearing no shoes, and he was walking through the sand.
I was going to say, you did not say shoe print, so when I heard footprint, I was like, that's probably footprint. Whoa, now. That ginger ale coming up that you washed it down with?
Woo! Bubbles, y'all.
That was a big one.
It was. That was a lot.
Way too much burp.
Sorry. So the next incident was the following Friday. So we've gone from a Friday to a Monday to a Friday. Hey. I'm not kidding. Those bubbles. They sneak up on you.
Too much ginger ale. Oh.
Sorry. All right. So the next Friday, he snuck into the home of Mr. and Mrs. Heidelberg. So like before, they had their windows down. He slit their screens. He came inside.
Ugh.
But he has escalated at this point. Instead of just snipping off the hair, he takes a heavy iron bar and he beats the shit out of them.
Oh my God.
So he knocks out Mrs. Heidelberg's front teeth, and he knocked the husband unconscious, but it happened so fast that neither of them could describe the attacker, didn't know what he looked like. He beat him in the face, got back out, and left. So the police brought in bloodhounds to try to pick up the scent. Well, the dogs got to the trail, they found it, all that stuff, but they only made it to a pair of bloodstained gloves in the woods, and after that, that was as far as they could trace him. So the police thought that maybe he had some kind of bicycle or something hidden in the woods that got him away faster and without leaving as much of a scent trail.
Okay.
So then the final attack happened on the next Sunday night, when he snuck into Miss R.R. Taylor's home. So he comes in and she describes being woken up by just this disgusting smell. It was just nasty, and she woke up and she remembered just getting really violently sick because the smell was so bad. And then obviously a lock of her hair was gone. And the police think that he was using a chloroform-soaked rag to keep them from waking up while he was clipping their hair.
Okay.
So for the next few months, people were like, fucking weirdos happening. Someone is on the loose.
Very astute.
This is not
Pascagoula
okay.
residents.
Y'all better figure out who this creepy ass motherfucker is. Well, turns out that 2 months after that last attack, they announced that they had caught the Phantom Barber.
Yay!
And his name was William Dolan. He was a 57-year-old chemist. And Dolan had actually been in a fight with a local judge who happened to be the father of the guy that he beat in the head with the iron. Right?
That's complicated.
Yeah, whatever.
Okay.
So he apparently did that. They're like, oh yeah, definitely him. And it didn't really tie him to it. There was not a lot of great evidence, but the police claimed that they found a large bundle of human hair behind his house. And the FBI later identified some of the hair as belonging to the little girl that the barber clipped. So he was like, look, y'all, seriously, it wasn't me. Really freaking not me. Double not me. Triple not me. Super not me. Well, sorry, Dolan. You were found guilty of attempted murder, and they put him in prison for 10 years. Well, he was never charged with any of the Phantom Barber crimes. I'm not sure. I mean, entering, being creepy. I don't know what the actual legal terms would be around
Jeez, I just hope that that's not something that someone can be charged with. I hope that someone can't be charged with entering and being creepy. Because I should be in prison.
But anyway, so like I said, the public was like, all right, great. They caught the Phantom Barber. Awesome. Well, 6 years down the road after this conviction happened, the governor of Mississippi, whose name is Fielding Wright at the time, he reviewed the case and he asked if Dolan would submit to a lie detector test. And he was like, yeah, sure, I didn't do it, so let's do this. Well, he passed it, and he was given sort of a limited suspended sentence, and then eventually in 1951 they completely let him go. And a lot of historians believe that he was just a patsy that they were using as a scapegoat to end the hysteria around this Phantom Barber. They don't think that he was it at all.
Definitely.
Because he was a known German sympathizer at the time.
Oh. No.
Yeah, a lot of townsfolk didn't like him at all because they were like, oh, Nazi. You know what I mean?
He sounds like a Nazi.
Whatevs. But so they think that it would have been very easy for them to plant that hair at his home, tamper with the evidence, all of that stuff. So it's very dubious as to whether or not they actually caught the Phantom Barber or not. So it could still be a mystery. Who knows? But that, my dear sir,
I just want to...
was the weird-ass tale of the Phantom Barber of Pascagoula.
If they found a bunch of hair behind his house, that's just weird. I don't think that if you're stealing hair from people, you're going to put it
behind your house.
Yeah,
I know, right?
You're not going to, like, put it in your yard.
You would,
use it as fertilizer.
You would knit some elaborate motif.
You would have
it
in a cigar box in the closet.
Just like sniffing it every so often. Like,
don't ask me how I know this, but you would keep the hair in a cigar box in the back of the closet.
And apparently he really liked blonde hair because most of his victims were blonde.
Well, I don't think it was the Nazi, but...
German sympathizer. You don't know if he was a Nazi or not.
I mean...
You're right.
It's the same thing, is it not?
No, because there were Germans that were not part of the Nazi party.
Well, okay, if he sympathized with the Germans who didn't want to be Nazis, sure.
Maybe.
What does German sympathizer mean in this context?
At the time period, probably Nazi, but
That's
I don't
what
know
I'm
that
saying.
for sure, and I don't want to tar everybody with the same brush.
Well, that's constructive.
I'm sorry. Whew, gnat.
You have a gnat in your face? We have flies.
It's not a fly, it's a little gnat. I left the door open too long when I was letting the dogs back in the house.
Well, they wouldn't come in, the little fuckers.
I know, that Dobby, I swear.
He's such an asshole.
But he's so cute.
He's very cute.
Ugh,
We need to put up more pictures of them.
We should. Their Instagram's lagging behind.
Do it.
But anyway, that was the Pascagoula Phantom Barber.
Well, that was fucking creepy.
Yes.
Can we not do that again?
Well, that's how this show works. Once we do it, we're not going to redo it.
Oh, good.
So, no, we don't have to do it ever again, my love.
Man, can we just not have anybody who's collecting hair on again?
No promises.
That's apparently a common theme.
I'm sorry. Weird shit happens in Florida all the time. It's bound to happen again.
I was going to say, this is Mississippi, though.
I know that, but you know, weird...
Is it in the Panhandle, though? like like down where Biloxi is? Where's Pascagoula?
It's down there.
Down on the coast? Yeah, that's basically Florida. It's extended Florida.
You're getting there.
Yeah.
So anyway, are you ready for number 2?
Yeah, I think so. As long as it's not a hair guy.
It's not. It's not at all. We're going to Kentucky.
Pascagoula, Kentucky?
Hopkinsville, Kentucky.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sounds much better. Sounds much better.
We're doing the Hopkinsville Encounter.
Encounter?
You don't know who these people... Okay.
No, I don't know why you keep looking at me like that.
Because it's a really famous, awesome case.
Yes, but I wasn't a nerd growing up. I had friends and things to do.
But, like, I've made you watch Mysteries at the Museum, and I know I've seen this on...
Yeah, I was on my phone the entire time.
Of course you were. All right. Well, let's get this shit started. Let me educate you.
Okay.
All right. So this all started on Sunday, August the 21st of 1955.
All right.
This story focuses around a man named Elmer Lucky. We're going to call him Lucky from now on because he went by Lucky in the quotes. Sutton is his last name. So Elmer Lucky Sutton. He was in his early 20s, and he was visiting his mama at his childhood home, and his mama's name is Glennie Langford, and he also had 3 younger half-siblings that were living there at the time. It's a big farmstead, and he'd, like I said, grown up there. It's about 8 miles north of the town of Hopkinsville, Kentucky, and it's also close to a town called Kelly, I believe, so sometimes you'll see this written down as the Kelly-Hopkinsville encounter. A lot of the times it's just the Hopkinsville encounter. So if you're Googling it, you could find it both ways. Same story.
Okay.
But shot in the dark.
Immediately?
Yes. What was Elmer's profession? Lucky.
Yeah, Lucky. He was a gambler.
No. Was he A, a carnival worker? Was he B, a milkman? Or was he C, a pin setter?
A pin setter like at a bowling alley?
Yes.
That's what you're saying? I'm going with A, carnival worker.
I thought I would get you with pin setter.
No, you're so easy to read.
I legit Googled weird professions from the 50s, and there is a list, and the top 2 were milkman and pin setter.
I want anyone with like a psychology background to be listening and be like, I mean, it's so easy to tell which one is the actual answer.
Why?
Because you just keep changing tone and inflection and everything, and I should be playing poker for a living. That's what I'm saying. But I need people to talk, so it's not really going to work very well.
Well, this is a really long story, so I hope that you're proud of yourself for fucking me up even more for this.
I'm very proud of myself. I'll take a shot with you. How about that? So don't take it. Give it to me, and we'll take it together.
Here.
Oh, you're just gonna pour me one? Okay.
I thought you wanted me to.
Well, I was just gonna grab it and pour it, but that's fine. I appreciate it.
Come on, Western Sun.
Western Sun, take me home.
No.
To the place.
This is clearly a Carry On My Wayward Son. Like,
Carry on my Western Sun.
Thank you. That is the reference, obviously.
Oh, I hit the mic. Sorry.
You ready?
Yep.
1, 2, 3.
Oh, that's so pleasant. It really is.
If you have to shoot something, pick that shit. It's delicious. And I don't even like grapefruit.
No, it's just a really good vodka.
It's a light, sweet, refreshing, grapefruity, but like not bad grapefruity.
Like we said on the previous episode that we had, this is just a really good vodka.
Would recommend.
I recommend it.
And I think they make a bunch of different flavors, so if I can find more of it, I'll get some of it.
Ooh, that'd be fun.
I only bought that because it was on clearance at the Liquor Express, but I'd definitely buy another flavor.
The Liquor Express in Huntsville bothers me.
Why?
Because it's mostly about beer.
I was going to say, it's like a good 90% of the store is all beer and craft beers of all varieties and from
it's
everywhere.
Awesome.
It's amazing.
So that we can
They've
find
got
the beer.
a tap store. It's absurdly cool. And then their liquor store for Liquor Express is seriously like
It's
just
small.
It's very small.
It's the liquor half of it has almost no liquor.
It's
I mean, don't get me wrong, they have a selection.
Yeah, but it's not like vast
They're
selection.
Liquor Express, and it should be
It's
Beer
all
Express
beer.
with a little bit of liquor. Fuck it. Nobody's going to get that. We got to move
Just us. All right. I was going to say, we're barely like a paragraph into this story, so we should keep going. Alright, so he was in fact a carnival worker, along with his wife and friends who were there. So they were all on a break from this traveling carnival that they were working at. So Lucky and his wife, whose name was Vera, and then they had friends Billy Ray and June Taylor, who were married, and they were there with for the weekend. And then he had another brother named JC and his sister-in-law Aileen.
Aileen?
Aileen. A-L-E-N-E. Aileen.
Okay. I just don't know that I've ever heard that before.
I have.
Okay.
And then they had another family friend that was over just to have fun. I don't
Be
know.
creepy?
No. Just, I mean, like, it's a family reunion, kind of let's have fun situation.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, and his
I
name was
didn't know
OP.
that. Opie?
OP.
OP, not Opie.
OP.
Like O-P.
Just OP. OP.
Oh, the letters.
The
OP.
letters.
Okay.
OP.
Okay.
Yeah, and they were all...
I'm sorry.
Yeah, they were all there hanging out. Well, Miss Glennie made them a delicious meal. Glennie was the mom, if you'll remember.
I don't. Thank you for reminding
Glennie
me.
was the mother. So she made an awesome dinner, and then all 11 of them settled down to have a card game. Well, Billy Ray, his friend, Lucky's friend, Billy Ray, he had run out of water in his water glass. So he went out to the well to get him some more water. Well, on his way out there, he sees something fucking crazy. So he comes back and he tells everybody, y'all, I have just seen a round metallic object with rainbow colored streaks behind it just floating through the sky above the farm. And now Billy Ray's a bit of a prankster.
This guy sounds like a lot of fun.
I know, right? He's a bit of a prankster. He's joking around. He likes to play tricks on Lucky a lot. So, I mean, people didn't think much about it. They're like, oh, you're bullshit, and you know. But he would not drop it, and he seemed genuinely upset by whatever the fuck he had seen, and he just kept getting agitated, like, look, you don't understand, there's weird shit outside, please believe me. So he was like, okay, June, who was his wife, you've got to believe me. Do you believe me? And she's like, no. And they all fucking just started laughing. Like, oh, Billy Ray, baby.
Of course I don't believe you.
Har har.
You're a fucking psychopath. You've done this before.
Yeah. Well, Billy Ray would not fucking let this shit go. So he got Lucky to walk with him back to the well so he could show him where he saw the lights and the metallic object in the sky. Well, Lucky was like, all right, if you're gonna bullshit me, let's go. Let's finish this up so we can get back to the card game. So he went out with his friend, and they went to the well. Nothing seemed weird, and they started to head back so they could start their card game again. Well, they saw a glowing object in the distance, and it was approaching them from the woods. And as it got closer, they realized that it was a little humanoid creature thing with big ass eyes and two little legs, and it was sort of floating around, and it had its arms straight up in the air like it was surrendering, you know what I mean? Just like, hee.
This is fun to picture.
And Lucky started cussing, and the two men just ran the fuck back inside and slammed the door. Now, okay, I want you to Google something.
So now they believe him.
Yeah,
now
I want you to Google something right now.
Okay, let me get it.
Google the Hopkinsville encounter. I want you to see what these aliens are supposed to look like.
Hopkinsville.
Image search it.
Encounter. There's a wiki.
Just image search.
All right, Hopkinsville encounter. Images. Okay, which one?
The little line drawing of the creepy thing.
Like the black and white one?
Uh-huh.
It's got real long arms.
Yeah.
Alien drawings by Sutton family, that one?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, okay, well, first of all, the one in the middle is fucking ripped.
No, but that's what they keep saying. They say the one, like, it has sort of a really built upper body, and then the bottom is real, like, just sort of stick legs, you know?
And huge ears.
Just fucking weird ass ears.
I love it.
All right, well, that's what the aliens look like. Y'all need to Google this shit. It's pretty great. Anyway, so
keep looking while we're talking.
So at the same time, like, after all of this shit went down, you know, investigators eventually ended up talking to the neighbors. Well, the neighbors at the same time reported that, they noticed weird lights in the woods, but they just assumed that they had flashlights out looking for one of their pigs that might have gotten out or something like that.
Oh, they had pigs?
And later they had heard some gunshots or whatever, and they thought, oh, maybe it's a bobcat just after the pigs or something. So they were like, yeah, we heard a commotion, there were lights and shit, but, like, fuck it, not our business, we'll stick to ourselves. So, like, I mean, there's corroborating evidence that something went down there at the time. Well, the boys came back in. They had this goblin encounter. They call them goblins, by the way. Which makes me very happy.
I was about to go, wait a second. Goblins?
Yeah. They called them Otherworldly Goblins, which makes me incredibly
Alien
happy.
goblins. Is that what we're saying? Alien goblins? Yeah. Okay. I mean, if you fucking say so, but I don't know that there are goblins outside of Middle Earth, I think.
Anyway. Well, Glennie, the mom, she was like, okay, what the fuck are y'all talking about? Because I've lived here for a very long time. I ain't never seen anything weird. There ain't no goblins in that woods. What you talking about? Please don't upset your babies.
What you talking about, goblins?
No. So, I mean, she had 3 younger children that she was like, look, please don't upset them. Lucky, you better not be talking about this shit in front of your little brothers and sisters. Well, Lucky was like, look, there's shit going down here. So Lucky got at the front door with a 12-gauge shotgun, and Billy Ray was at the back door with a 22, and so they were just going to keep watch and make sure nothing came inside. So they were all waiting. They were like real uncomfortable, a little tense about it because they'd just seen this goddamn goblin. When all of a sudden a figure about 3 feet tall, just like that picture that you just Googled, showed up in the doorway.
They were only 3 feet tall?
3 feet tall.
I didn't know they were only 3 feet tall.
They're little. They're so cute.
Oh, why didn't they grab them and cuddle them and like pet their big ears?
They're silver too.
They're silver.
They're so cute. Anyway, I lost my place. Damn. I found it. All right. So this little thing showed up in the doorway, and Glennie saw it first, and she starts screaming, and everybody comes running to the door.
They came to the house?
Yeah.
They just wanted some food?
Probably. That good old biscuit. It was great. I mean, I
wanted some bacon. They had a pig
around
farm.
The universe for a good biscuit.
Hey, that's what otherworldly goblins do. They come to the house for bacon because Earth is the only place that has bacon.
You're right. Anyway, so Billy shot at this goblin-y thing through the screen door, might I add. So it pierced that screen and it hit the goblin-y thing. But
no, it didn't.
The goblin was not phased. It just sort of did a tuck and roll and sort of ran back to the woods.
It did a fucking SWAT maneuver.
Yeah. And so it sort of ran away. So he was curious, and Billy Ray got back out on the porch, and he was looking around like, what the fuck? And as he stepped out on the thing, a clawed hand reached down from the roof and started like grazing his hair.
Oh, they're sweet goblins.
No, right?
They're sweethearts.
So they sort of like just sort of his hair. And Aileen saw this shit and was like, oh fuck no.
She saw the hand?
Yeah. and pulled him back inside the house. So Lucky came out and he ran outside and looked at the roof, and sure enough, there was one of those motherfuckers on the roof. And he started shooting at that sucker, and he hit it, and it just sort of tuck and rolled off the roof.
It tuck and rolled too?
Yeah, and it ran into the woods.
These goblins have military training.
Uninjured. It was fine. All right, so everybody's back inside. And they're just sort of huddling together like, okay, what the
so
absolute
funny.
shit is going on? Well, they see a pair of glowing eyes and sort of like claws appear at the window. So JC starts shooting at it through the glass because, of course, with his 22.
Why not?
And then Billy Ray was like, okay, I'm going to shoot it too. And they struck the creature, but it sort of did a little backflip number. And it kept
tuck
on.
and rolled. It fucking tuck and rolled. Why are these
woods.
goblins so goddamn agile? Why are they so capable of evading?
Now, Glennie, bless her heart, was very religious. She'd been to church that morning. She started praying. She was terrified. She had her babies close to her. She was creeped out. She thought they were demons. Was very upset. So she had all of her babies in the center, trying to make sure that everybody was okay. You know, just... there's shit going on. She's trying to protect everybody, but she really can't.
Ugh.
Well... All right, so Lucky and Billy Ray. Lucky and Billy Ray went outside again and was looking at the front yard, trying to see if anything was still left around the thing. Everybody else, JC, OP, the wives, the babies, they were all inside. And JC had a gun ready at the door. Well, they were looking out the windows, you know, trying to help him. Anyway, someone yelled, "Hey! Look in that tree!"
They don't know which one said, "Hey, look in the tree."
No,
Could have been a
just
goblin.
someone. Anyway, it was up in a maple tree, and everybody could see that one of these little men, and that's what they call him, the little silver man, was perched on a branch above him in the little maple tree looking down at him. And so one of the men outside shot at it, but instead of falling off of the branch, it sort of floated down.
Oh, like a feather?
Yeah, just sort of floated down and ran off. Well,
It feathered down and rolled and got away into the woods.
so they fired at it, and like I said, but they said that the noise that it made when the gunfire hit it, like when the bullet hit it, it just sounded like metal, like bullets hitting metal, like dinging off a metal plate. That's what it sounded like. And so they saw another one, they shot at it, it made that sound, and it floated away too. Just like, cool, we're good, just chill, running out. So they finally realized that shooting these motherfuckers ain't doing a whole lot of good. So they all ran back inside, and they're like, okay, y'all, we need to get the hell out of Dodge. I don't know if they're demons. I don't know if they're goblins, but something's wrong. I don't like it. We need to go somewhere. Let's go to the police station. So they're like, yeah, all right. So they hauled ass, all 11 of them.
I didn't realize there were 11 people in the fucking house.
There's 11 of them.
All 11 of them saw the goblins.
Yes, there was 11 of them. So they all got in a bunch of different trucks that were there. Everybody had, you know, trucks.
Of course.
Yeah.
It's,
Kentucky.
I mean, of course they have trucks in the 50s.
So everybody and those babies and everybody, they piled into all the trucks and they made their way to the local police department. Well...
What?
I'm sorry.
What did that mean?
I'm just trying to clear my throat. I'm sorry.
No hidden meaning. I just have to very slowly and deliberately clear the phlegm from my throat.
I'm sorry, I'm very drunk. Apologize. Anyway, so they roll up, all 11 of them roll up. And now,
I don't think that's like sober funny, but right now it's fucking hilarious that there are 11 people like just loaded in the bed of a pickup truck. We gotta go tell the police about the goblins. Get in. The police can protect us. They have their goblin unit.
Now, so it's just a little bit before midnight when all of these 11 people roll up into the Hopkinsville police station. Now, the sergeant on duty at the front desk is like, all right, this is a little weird. Y'all are talking about fighting little silver men for hours.
Yeah.
Because it's been a while that they've been doing all this nonsense.
Yeah.
Well, the officer's like, okay, that's weird, but there are 11 people here. There are 3 small children. It is almost midnight. Something fucking weird's going on. They're frightened. They're upset.
Excuse me.
Let's call in some reinforcement. So,
First of all, 7 of you get out because this is a very small police station.
most likely.
So just go wait in the bed of the truck. The goblins won't come to the police station, we promise.
Anyway, so the officer called the chief of police, whose name was Russell Greenwell, and they also called the Kentucky State Police, and they called the sheriff's office and the Fort Campbell Army Base. And the Fort Campbell Army Base dispatched its own, police personnel.
Like military police?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a big deal.
Yeah. So, and on top of all of that police presence, the local paper heard about it, because I'm sure they got someone just hanging out for goblin stories.
Yeah, just hanging out at the police station.
Yeah,
waiting for goblin
they
stories.
Also sent a staff photographer. So within an hour or so of them showing up, all 11 of them at the thing, there was, a good 6 or 7 police officers and people from the paper, local media and stuff. They had all shown up at the Sutton farm, and all the family had returned. They'd come back. So authorities started searching with flashlights. They looked around. They saw all these shotgun shells, bullet casings, bullet holes. And the
So they didn't lie
officers-
about that.
No. There were definitely shots everywhere. And the officers noticed that there was sort of a weird glowing light in the woods, but they went out towards it and they couldn't find any kind of source for it. And then they saw a spot near where they had said that they shot one of these things, and there was sort of an iridescent fluid on the ground, sort of like an oil slick.
Sounds like semen.
Gross.
Yeah.
Sort of an oil slick on the ground, but it was just sort of whatever.
We'll pass
So-
over the alien semen. We'll move on. You're right. Apologies. Goblin semen.
There you go.
I'm sorry.
But anyway, so the officers start questioning each of the family members separately. But everybody has the same story. Everybody knows what happened. They were all like, this is not them making up some elaborate bullshit. Like, something went down, because everybody's telling the same story and they continue to tell the same story.
Yeah.
So they spend hours out there, but like, they ain't seeing no goblins. Nothing's going on. They're like, all right, we've made the report. We're going to go back home. So they're like, okay. So everybody went to their rooms and on the couch in the living room and all that. So Glennie went to sleep in her room, and she woke up and she saw one of the little men in her bedroom window.
Same night?
On the same night.
Oh,
on
fuck
the other
that.
side of her bedroom window, and she starts screaming bloody murder, because obviously.
I mean, did
And
it
she
tuck and roll?
started screaming,
into
and
the
everybody
room?
came in. And Lucky and Billy Ray and OP and all them, they come running in, and so they're like, okay, look, we're not messing with this shit. And they all posted. They all stood at one of the doors with a gun to sort of just make sure that no one got in or anything like that. Well, at sunrise, the creatures left and they never saw them again.
Did they
ever.
see them leave, or you're saying that by sunrise,
By
nothing else had
sunrise,
happened?
Nothing else happened. They
Okay.
didn't see anything. Nothing was there.
Okay.
So all that happened in 1955, right? In August. Well, in 1957, the U.S. Air Force started to investigate that. and they did extensive, investigations about everything that went on there. So the person in charge of the investigation's name was Major John Albert. And he interviewed all of the Suttons, all of the family members, all of the friends that were there at the time, and everybody's story had not changed at all. Everything corroborated. Everything was just exactly as they said before. They examined everything. Turns out the Suttons were so annoyed and freaked out by everything that had happened that Glennie had sold the house itself and had moved into town because she was so freaked out by all of that stuff. She wanted to be as far the fuck away from that as possible. But they had gone back and looked at all the stuff, and his determination when he was making his report to the Air Force, was that he didn't think it was goblins, and he didn't think it was aliens. And he also didn't think that the Suttons were making any kind of hoax up. He didn't think they were lying. Mm-hmm. His opinion was, and this is the best thing that you will hear all night, was that they had most likely seen escaped circus monkeys.
All right, I have a problem with that.
Yeah, but the main problem with it is that there were no circuses nor missing monkeys at all in the time period at all.
It could have happened many years before, and the monkeys have just bred in the cornfields for forever. That they showed up out of the woods and decided to stroke people's hair from the roofs and float down from the trees and take gunshots to their bodies and just tuck and roll out into the woods.
They were very well-trained circus monkeys.
They knew what they were doing. I agree, and I support this theory 100%. Just because I want to be the victim of escaped circus monkeys one day. So I want to know that it's possible.
One day our farm shall be beset by circus monkeys, and it will be wonderful.
I would love to have that problem. We've been overrun by escaped circus monkeys. Oh no, what do we do? Pet them? Let them pet you?
So
problem solved. Don't shoot them. They'll run away and never come back and pet you.
Yeah. Well, that was the Air Force's explanation.
I think the Air Force is a little mistaken.
Probably. Now, in 2005, as part of, they had a 50th anniversary of the encounter.
Who did? The Air Force? It'd be hilarious if the Air Force celebrated.
Like the town. Like, there's a festival about this shit.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm. Well, in 2005, as part of the 50th anniversary, an organization called the Committee for Scientific Investigation of Claims of the Paranormal, so CSI Cop. They did their own investigation, and their determination was, look, it probably wasn't goblins. It was great horned owls.
What? Well, what? I don't like that either.
They think it was great horned owls. They say that the owls look a lot like the aliens. They've got big eyes. They've got the little horned, feathery ears, like the picture. They had a round head. They're about 3 feet tall. They've got the ears. They've got the little clawed feet, like they stroked the hair.
Yeah.
And they also said
it's way funnier to think about him having his head stroked by feet.
Owls.
By feet, though, by like talons instead of hands.
Yeah, so they said that it happened in around August, and so at that point in time, a mated pair of owls would be feeding baby owls at that point in time. So maybe they were really aggressive because there were baby owls. But, okay, look, y'all. Glennie's been on this property for decades. She knows what the fuck all of the wildlife around her area looks like. I've seen owls in the wild. Everybody knows what a goddamn owl looks like. They do.
Well, not only that, owls are pretty predatory as well, are they not? Like, owls set up shop and stay somewhere.
Yes,
they don't move around,
they've got
really.
a territory, and they're gonna hunt it.
So yeah, you could say that they maybe had just moved into the area,
But there's no fucking way.
I just don't think that would make much sense, that it would be owls.
Which, I mean, maybe the owl did it. I don't know.
I don't think that it was the owl. I think... Well, first of all, how are owls going to tuck and roll? That's
Maybe
the big
they
thing.
were mistaken. Now, they did say that owl in the maple... Not the owl. The goblin in the maple tree just sort of floated down. Maybe it glided because it was a fucking owl.
Well, they're
Who knows?
special ops owls then, because they are pulling some fucking maneuvers.
Maybe. But yeah, the owl theory is what is like, okay, monkeys were a bit absurd, but you can see
It's all absurd.
yes, the whole thing is. But I mean, you can kind of see how, like, Google great horned owl, Google Hopkinsville monster. You can see where, like, in the head area,
Google
maybe.
escaped circus monkey.
Now that one's just bullshit.
It's all bullshit. It's all bullshit.
Oh, bless their hearts. But, I mean, of the options, I guess the owl is the least absurd, but it's still absurd.
Yeah. Is that it for the conspiracy theories?
Yeah,
The theories?
that's all of it.
Did anybody ever propose the theory that the adults in the house, like the two, maybe four of them, were cooking meth, and the other 7 people got high, and they all saw the same thing while high on meth, and figured, you know what? We just saw a bird outside, but it looked like a goblin.
No. Now,
Nobody ever proposed that theory.
Now, they did. One of the theories that people at the time were talking about were like, look, everybody here's drunk. They're just drunk on Kentucky moonshine, and they're just old hillbilly folks seeing shit. Well, I told you before that Glennie was very religious, and she did not allow any kind of alcohol on her property at all. There was no alcohol.
She may not have known, though.
There was no drugs. There was nothing involved. They were good, honest, normal people, except for the carny part.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure there was no alcohol or meth involved in those people's lives.
Hey, I don't think methamphetamines like we know it today was a thing in 1950. What's its buckets?
There were things.
But I'm just saying, like, and then I've read interviews with one of the children of Lucky, and she said, you know, that's...
Excuse me.
The stories never changed. It's just, I mean, they were...
Absolutely. I don't doubt that the children saw the same thing. I just think they were high on the meth fumes that were being made in the bathtub.
There was no methamphetamine, Mitchell.
You don't know that.
There was no meth.
You don't know
Please
that.
respect these people and their goblins.
I think that there were no circus monkeys or owls. But I think that there was a very good possibility that there was meth.
There was no meth. I don't think meth makes you see goblins. I think it just makes you
have
twitchy.
you ever tried meth?
I have not. Have you?
No, but I'm afraid that now it's in our heads, so if we ever do meth, we might see some fucking goblins.
Mitchell, I don't ever plan on trying meth.
I don't plan on it either. I don't think anyone that has done meth has planned on trying meth.
I doubt
it
that
just
very
happens,
seriously.
and then they see goblins, and they gouge their eyes out, and they don't brush their teeth. That's what you do on meth.
I don't think so, but fine. If that's what you want to believe,
You
my
should
love.
watch Breaking Bad, because
That's not my thing.
that's what happens.
Good.
Believe me.
But anyway, that was the Hopkinsville encounter. I hope you enjoyed my story.
I very much enjoyed your meth-fueled story.
There was no meth. You're just being rude and judgmental.
It was
at this
Kentucky
point.
in the 50s. I'm not being rude or judgmental.
You're being both.
These people did not understand something they saw, and they decided to declare goblins. You can't just declare goblins.
Mitch, maybe it was fucking goblin.
Well,
Did you ever pause to consider that maybe these people actually fucking saw goblins?
I considered it for about 4 to 5 seconds, and then I went, yeah, you know, that's fucking stupid. I moved on.
Like, he saw an alien craft in the sky, and then they saw these little aliens, so why not?
No. No. They saw escaped circus monkeys, and they were high on meth.
Maybe the owls
they
and
were
the
goblins.
monkeys were in cahoots, and they had like a circus
They were in
performance
cahoots.
I am done, sir.
They were in cahoots, Leah.
I quit. We're not doing this anymore.
There were 2 owls. 2 groups of owls that were in cahoots.
Stop. I can't with you anymore. I'm out.
Y'all,
I've tapped out. I can't.
we've been doing this for a while now, and if y'all haven't realized that the primary focus of this show is to make me laugh, I'm sorry. My humor is probably not funny to most people, but if I laugh at what I say, I'm happy with what's happened.
You're such a narcissist.
I don't think that that's narcissistic. I just think that I have taste in... well, no, not like a declarative taste. I think that I have a very specific taste. And I know what I like. So I know what to say to make myself laugh.
You're giving yourself dad jokes is all you're doing.
That's not... I mean, that's kind of a dad joke, but it's mostly a pun.
Puns are mostly dad jokes.
Okay, all dad jokes are puns, but not all puns are dad jokes.
Is this a circle, square, rectangle nonsense?
Yeah, it's kind of, it's the same kind of thing.
All right, well, let's just agree to disagree about what they actually were and move on to a toast.
If you want to give a toast, I'll take a toast.
I do. Y'all, tonight we are toasting the victims of the Pascagoula barber, because you know how hard that would be to grow your hair back out after someone just honked off of a bit of it?
I really thought you were about to say, do you know how hard it would be to secretly cut someone's hair and get away with it?
Oh no, people do that shit on YouTube as a prank video all the time. That's awful.
But they don't get away with it. People see it. People feel it happen.
It's all. I mean, like, have you seen the people that man bun? They cut off the man buns. It makes me sad.
I haven't seen that.
Oh, they should be prosecuted.
I don't watch YouTube pranks though.
I don't either, but I've seen videos. Anyway, people complaining about the people that whatever.
Agreed.
I'm sidetracked, but at any rate, we're victims, and then we're also drinking to those sweet goblins
meth heads
that Mitch so maligned. So hoist your drink high into the sky. Let's drink a toast. Keep your windows closed and your nightcap tight, or the Pascagoula barber might give you a fright. When your farm's infested with a goblin migration, pile in the truck and drive down to the station. Drink!
There was nothing like actually funny about it, but the idea of rhyming migration with station just made me chuckle. Because I saw it coming. When you said migration, I was like, oh God.
That's gonna be station.
I felt it. I felt it.
Well, congratulations.
Mm-hmm.
You've made it through another episode of the Southern Spirits Podcast.
Yes, congratulations to all you listeners. What you should do is get on iTunes and give us a rating and review.
Mostly a review.
Yeah, reviews bump it up. It gets people to look at it and see it. So please do that.
Yes.
Whether you liked it or not.
But
hopefully if you liked it.
Preferably if you liked it. If you didn't like it, fuck off. We don't want to talk to you.
Okay, let's not malign people here.
Sorry.
Especially, like, we could have offended some meth heads in this episode, and we don't want meth heads to be giving us ratings and reviews.
Y'all, seek help. Substance abuse is a problem.
Do that,
There's
then
resources.
re-listen to the episode.
But yeah, then you come back and you rate and review.
Do that. Listen again. You will find it hilarious.
Yes.
I promise, because I know my humor.
Sober people fucking love our jokes.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if that's accurate, because I think that sober people have a little bit more of a clear head. But that's okay. At least they're not on meth. So, there's that. We would love some iTunes ratings and reviews.
Yes, please. And if you review us on iTunes, all you've got to do is take a screen cap of that and email it to us at southernspiritspodcast@gmail.com. And I'm going to send you a packet of stickers because I like y'all that much.
Free stickers.
Oh, I mean, and you've got to give us your address too. Like, none of these half-assed addresses, y'all. I'm not gonna like keep you on a list. I can barely keep that shit together myself.
Excuse me.
Just like
Yeah.
give me your address so I can give you.
We don't have
stickers.
a newsletter as of yet.
No, I'm
So.
not gonna send anything but stickers. I promise. Well, and a cute little card, but that's just to contain the
Okay,
stickers.
the card took me off of it. I don't want the
Sorry.
card. I don't want it.
Well, if you don't want the card, just say I don't want the card. Just an envelope of stickers, please. Whatever.
You can also follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Southern Spirits Podcast. We can also be found on Twitter at S-Spirits Podcast. You have any fun stuff you want to send us that at P.O. Box 1743, Hartselle, Alabama. That's HARTSELLE 35640. And we're going to see y'all next week.
We sure are.
Bye, y'all!